The diary I bought already knew my past. Now it's writing my future. Part 1. I found the diary in a box at a yard sale. The woman running the stall had a smile that looked stapled on, stiff at the edges, as if she hadn't truly smiled in years. When I picked up the diary, she froze and stared at me. Then she whispered, almost breathless, $2. It was worn, bound in leather, with a brass clasp that no longer locked. The pages smelled faintly of mold and smoke. And they weren't empty. They were full. The handwriting was messy but steady, all scratched out in black ink. At first, I flipped through it casually. But then my stomach tightened. Because it wasn't just anyone's diary. It was mine. It had everything. My scraped knees as a kid. My weird crushes in grade school. The time I stole $1 from my mother's purse and stuffed it into my sock. Every thought I had kept private. Every shame I never told a soul, written down. At first, I laughed nervously, convincing myself it had to be coincidence, some bizarre prank. But when I got home, something froze me to the core. The last page wasn't about my past. It was about now. August 28th, 10:47 p.m. He sits at the kitchen table, staring at these words, pretending he isn't afraid. He swallows hard. Checks the front door, though he already locked it. Twice. He doesn't know if he'll hear the scratching in exactly 3 minutes. The book slipped from my damp hands. I don't know why I did it, curiosity maybe, but I stayed there, watching the clock, listening. At exactly 10:50, I heard it. A slow, deliberate scrape at the front door. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I told myself I imagined it. But when I opened the diary again, my blood turned to ice. August 29th, 8:02 a.m. He tells himself it isn't real. Tells himself he only imagined the sound. But if he listens carefully, he can still hear it. A faint scratching at the edge of his memory. He eats a piece of toast. He doesn't notice the shadow in the hallway. I snapped my head toward the hallway. Empty. But the feeling lingered. Something had been there, watching me. That night, I tried an experiment. I left the diary closed on my nightstand. When I woke up, it was open. A fresh entry filled the page. It described my dream. Word for word. The one where my dead father sat on the edge of my bed and whispered in a voice like broken glass. You can't shut it. The entries didn't stop. They no longer waited for me to open the book. The diary wrote itself. Sometimes the ink was still wet when I touched it. And then, it went further. Not just recording. Not just reflecting. Predicting.